Hello, my name is Toby. I sing in a band called Trash Boat, and we're going to be taking a little look behind the lyrics of our latest album, Crown Shyness. So the title track of the latest album, Crown Shyness, lyrically, it was difficult, but in a good way, because it was a lot more conceptual than the kinds of lyrics that I usually write. Crown Shyness, overall, like the whole album, I would say is a lyrical successor to our previous album, Nothing I Write You Can Change What You've Been Through, in the sense that it's the same style of introspective, personal analysis lyrically. And Crown Shyness, the song, is similar, but I went into more of a concept with it, which I'm not going to say anything for sure, but I feel like future lyrics, I want to be a bit more conceptual and maybe look away from myself and start creating a story based around something else. I'm not sure, you might be seeing that in the future. But Crown Shyness plays on the theme of Crown Shyness, which is the phenomenon where a canopy of trees will grow together and the edges of the trees will grow very, very close, but they won't quite touch, and it will leave these kind of veins of light coming through the top. If you Google Crown Shyness, you can see some of it in nature. It's really beautiful. And as soon as I saw some pictures of the phenomenon, it just jumped so many ideas and so many metaphors out at me, and I had to, I felt like I had to write a song about it. And I kind of write as me from the perspective of being a single tree in the middle of a dense canopy of Crown Shyness, because they don't really know why it happens. It could be some sort of evolutionary thing where, you don't have to compete for resources if they're growing over each other. If they kind of just grow next to each other and don't quite touch, then they can all grow together, but no one really knows why conclusively. But the idea that this tree can grow so tall and grow with such a dense population around it, but it would never know that these other trees were there, because they just don't. You'd never know, because no matter how far they grow out, they never touch. They have this border. And I started to feel an affinity with that metaphor, because sometimes, like, a problem that I have definitely roots in connectivity and like reaching out with friends and family and just openness, basically. And the idea that it can exist with so much around it, but it would never really know that it's there. That kind of spoke to me very, very deeply, and I wanted to just build on that. There's some lyrics on that song, I think, in the second verse, where I say, "Autumn comes to cut me down to size, it becomes beautiful to die." I wrote that while I remember I was making an egg, and I wasn't even really thinking about lyrics as such, but I was thinking about, it's strange how we romanticize death when it comes to nature. Like, when trees are dying come winter and all the leaves are turning yellow and losing all their chlorophyll or whatever happens, I don't know the exact science, but they are dying. And we look at these dying trees and we say, God, isn't it beautiful? Isn't all these colors are so beautiful? Nature's happening. And that's just what I was thinking about while I was cooking this egg. I was like, it's strange that we romanticize death at this time of year. And then that lyric just bang, it popped into my head immediately. And I've never written a lyric that fast. Like, it'll come one word at a time, or I'll have to eke it out over weeks and like trying different things. And that I think that is probably my favorite lyric, single line on the whole record. I love it so much. And the whole song just comes from the perspective of being a lonely tree surrounded by every other tree in the world, but never knowing that they are there. And it just spoke to me. It spoke to me about just loneliness and and just things of that ilk. It's things that I've been struggled with. I've lived in a relatively isolated area my whole life. I have incredible friends, but sometimes I can be guilty of just not reaching and not connecting with them as much as I should. So yeah, I wanted to write Crown Shyness and tie that into the theme of the whole record, because the Crown Shyness theme just is at the foundation of every single song on the record. And there are some songs where I throw in a cheeky tree metaphor, and yeah, I thought it was such a good foundation, and I think it works really, really well. And I'm very proud of the song Crown Shyness, and it's one of my favorite songs on the record, particularly lyrically, and it serves as the base for the lyrical content. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy the record, and I hope you guys will really look into the lyrics, because I feel like you don't get to know a record truly until you've sat down and you've read all the lyrics while listening to it. That's where records that I really like have become my favorite records. They've taken that step when you kind of sit down and you're like, I'm going to listen to this record and I'm going to read the lyrics, and then you're like, oh my god, this is now one of my favorite albums. So please go out and do that. I'd highly recommend it, and then you guys can get more of a look into my head and the way I write and the way it works. So I hope you guys do that, and I hope you enjoy it.